Welcome back to my channel, sports fans. Okay, let's get into this one right here. Anthony Edwards continues to be a fraud. He continues to let people also show him that he's a fraud. The stuff that he does aligns him with a fraud. Now, look, I know we got some Anthony Edwards fans. Don't get mad at me. I'm not really talking about his game per se. He's getting better, but Sports and Fitness Rants just made a video about this last night where he was talking about LeBron being named the best player on the team. And he went the way of just crushing LeBron like he always does, like he always has, and always will, just like I will. Because that's the biggest joke ever. And I don't want to go down that path. I want to go a different direction, talking about Anthony Edwards and how this makes him look like a fraud. Makes him look like a fraud. Amongst many other things. Just ain't this. I done did many videos on this guy. He's supposed to be this next Michael Jordan. Jordan led his team in 4 statistical categories as a rookie and led the league in scoring. Well, in the most points. Got his own shoe. Came out of college winning a gold medal with the other, what was it? The other 2 gold medals he won in the FIBA games with college players. And we'll talk about that in a minute. But yeah, this guy has never led the league in points per game. Well, let me just say this: been top 5, and most of the times not even top 10 since he's been in the league. In any statistical category per game: points, steals, rebounds, assists, blocks, things like that. And this guy's the next Mike. He's not even a top 5 guy in his own league. He's not. And you guys like to make these excuses of how when he first came into the league, he was this age. That's his prerogative. He ran to the league because he was ready, right? And the league was weaker when he came in. When was it? 1920, something like that? It was weaker. You sit at a 3-point line and you wait for the ball to come to you. There's no positional skills. There's no guys fighting for rebounds under the basket. All you do have to sit around and wait for the ball to come to you. Or you could drive the lane where it's wide the hell open. So I don't want to hear nothing about, oh man, he was young, man. Young going against what? Going against what? Explain that. So he should have came in, he should have dominated, wasn't rookie of the year, didn't make the playoffs, all this stuff. He was he was not mentioned to be anything. I'm not going to say anything, but I'm just saying nobody really knew who the guy was. So he was coming out of college, and yeah, he was going to be a pro, but he wasn't coming in there as like an AD or any big names. And this is what I want to look at right here. Remember, they did not even qualify for a medal in the FIBA last summer. And coward LeBron had to break up this same team and build a super duper team like he always does, instead of putting these boys on his back and showing them the ropes. So on that team, of course, you had Anthony Edwards, a fraud, Jalen Brunson. I'm not going to name all these names, but Mikal Bridges, Paolo Banchero, Halliburton, Josh Hart, Brandon Ingram, which from what I heard, they're trying to get him over to the Lakers and dismantle that team. So probably so Bronny can get in the lineup and it, be the trio of Brandon Ingram, always hurt, LeBron old, and AD always. It's a circus, man. That's why I said the NBA is just a reality show, stealing money from fans. Yeah, Brandon Ingram, Jaren Jackson Jr., Reeves, Portis, and Cam Johnson. Now, am I saying that's the team that they got now going into the Olympics? No. But at the same time, look at these international teams. Most of these teams have one superstar on them that play in the NBA and maybe a role player. And then some of these international teams only have like a role player on them, right? So It wasn't like they were at some disadvantage. And we're talking about the next Michael Jordan. That's what they call this guy. This fraud. That's what they call this guy. The next Michael Jordan, all this nonsense. Michael Jordan with this team is not losing to basically international plumbers. And he damn sure ain't going to disqualify for a medal. This is enough. If Michael Jordan had Jalen Brunson, Paolo Banchero, Halliburton, and Ingram, and you got some gritty guys on here with Hart, Bobby Portis, even Austin Reeves is a starter. He's not losing to what they got out there today. It just ain't going to happen. And this is what Anthony Edwards couldn't even do, couldn't even take his game to the next level as a leader and say, let's do this. So where's he at now? He's back on the Olympic team after 40-year-old Lebron James dismantled that team and built the team he wanted. And basically, he basically put this guy on the bench. He put Anthony Edwards on the bench. Wow. Could you imagine? How could the media ain't talking about this? He put this guy on the bench. You know, because Curry's a point guard. So LeBron took the point guard position, the biggest turnover machine. Really don't have no handles besides his arm guarding with the ball. If somebody approaches him, yeah, he slid Curry over to the shooting guard, became the point guard, and guess what? Now Anthony Edwards, you're on the bench. You ain't the man. You did some phony interview. Hey, they gotta watch out for me. They gotta look at me, bro. You're a fraud. You don't know what kind of jersey, what number you want to wear. You're wearing 1. You're wearing 10. I thought I saw you wearing a number 5. What's going on with this guy? Who are you? You're a bench player. And this is what I'll tell you. And I told you this before. If somebody showed Michael Jordan up like that, even at 20, 23 years old, however old this guy is, guess what's going to happen? Well, this guy, especially at 40 years old, is going to get dominated in practice. Michael Jordan is going to shut him down defensively and make him look like a fool on the offensive end, right? He's going to put about 40 on his head on the offensive end and stifle this guy on the defensive end in practice. This is what would happen in practice. What's Anthony Edwards doing that? He's talking trash from the bench about people having to watch out for him. Bro, you're a bench player. You just... How did it go? So, the team that beat LeBron in the playoffs, you beat them. And then the team that went to the finals that beat you got smoked in the finals. That's neither here nor there. I'm just saying. Look. A bench player. Then he got the nerve to do this like Kobe Bryant did. Do you know what Kobe, the shh, be quiet? He did that gesture like Kobe Bryant to his mouth with his finger. This guy's a fraud. You know why Kobe did that? He did that because he was saying, look, I'm the difference. Without me, we'll be getting the bronze medal again and again and again. That's why he was saying that. Right? It was all about LeBron and company. But guess what? LeBron and his company kept getting bronze medals against international plumbers. That's why when he showed up and showed out and showed these guys how to basically play basketball. I mean, if you can't beat international plumbers, and Kobe has to come over here and get you past international plumbers, he's basically showing you how to play basketball outside of the United States rules, to where you're trying to tell me that you're only looking good in the NBA because maybe it's rigged. I don't know, but there's no way you could be losing to international plumbers. and getting third place in '04 and 2006 FIBA. There's no way. So Kobe had to show these guys how to play. That's all it took was this one guy to come. I don't understand. They basically had the same team. That's all it took. 2008, I don't think Kevin Durant won on that team. That's all it took was Kobe Bryant. So yeah, this guy is he's starting to remind me of LeBron James, a front runner, a fraud. He goes up for baskets. He screams like a little woman. Ah, like come on, man, play basketball. And to me, if I was being compared to Michael Jordan like that, guess what I would do? You gonna put me on the bench? See you later. You're gonna make this guy the captain? See you later. You're gonna say LeBron's the best player on the team without even playing? Voted best player on the team without even playing a real game. And you saw him in these scrimmage games. I think they were playing Serbia. Coming into the fourth quarter, this guy basically had no points. He stayed in the game, front running in a blowout in the fourth quarter. And, Joker was on the bench. I think they might have had their starters on the bench. What happens? LeBron stays in the game, front running, trying to go 10 shots. Got caught for a goal 10. Barreling down the lane. Serbia guys are like, bro, we ain't even playing like that no more. You're blowing us out. Made a basket off an offensive foul. And start flexing? Was turning the ball over, breaking it up at the same time. And this is the best player on the team without even playing a real game. The Olympics didn't even begin yet. What? I'm confused. How can you be the best player in the Olympics? Haven't even started yet. If you're saying that he's the best player based on what? Scrimmage games? I don't understand. So let's look at this real quick. Something Anthony Edwards could never do. The '84 Olympic team, which was collegiate players, came. This was their scrimmage games. They weren't playing international plumbers and stuff like that. This is who Michael Jordan played coming out of college before he played in the '84 Olympic Games. They made sure these guys were tough because the world had just caught up to us. In, what was it, 92? Or what was it? No, I think the Olympics before when we lost. But anyways, we were still playing college players. So they scrimmage, U.S. men's basketball team scrimmage, NBA players. I think it was 9 or 11 games, and they went undefeated. In the summer of '84, June 15th to July 25th, they beat them every game. And we'll just look at some of these games. If you don't see it on your screen, it's going to come up. But one of these games was Jordan's team won 84-72. In that game, they had Isaiah Thomas, Mark Aguirre, Michael Cooper, the defensive guru, right? Hall of Famer. Walter Davis. Whew. Alex English. Isaiah, you had all these guys on your team? We're not going to say all the names. I'm just saying some notable names. Larry Nance. Kiki Vandeweghe was a pretty decent shooter. So he had all these players on his team and still lost, got spanked by Michael Jordan and collegiate players. Another one of these games, 128. Wow, this looks like this era type of numbers. To 106, Michael Jordan's team won. Let me see. Terry Cummings was on his team. Let me see. Daryl Dawkins, Rick Mahorn, Orlando Woolridge, that's funny, and Gus Williams, Reggie Theus. He was a good player. Another game, 98-90. Michael Jordan's team won. On this team, Magic Johnson, Mark Aguirre, let's see, Kevin McHale, Isaiah Thomas, and Trent Tucker, a 3-point specialist. Another game. 97-82. Michael Jordan's team won convincingly. And on that team, you had Larry Bird, Mark Aguirre. If you don't know about Mark Aguirre, this guy could shoot. Imagine you had Mark Aguirre, Vinnie Johnson, Isaiah Thomas, Joe Dumars, and I might be forgetting a couple, but you could say Bill Lambert. All these guys shooting from the perimeter. Bill Lambert just wasn't a guy in the paint doing paint moves. He was a stretch. So on that team, you had Larry Bird, Mark Aguirre, Kevin McHale, Robert Parrish, who else? Isaiah Thomas, among others. And they still got spanked. Now, let's look at that 1984 Olympic roster. And I think we only went through four guys, but that was a consistent roster and even more great NBA players. When was it? I think 6 more times that they played. However more times they played, they were playing these guys consistently. They wasn't playing some scrub rosters. They was playing the best in the NBA. So, Steve Alford, Patrick Ewing, Vern Fleming, Michael Jordan, Joe Klein, John Concat, Chris Mullin, Sam Perkins, Alvin Robertson, Wayne Tisdale, Jeff Turner, and Leon Wood. That's who was on that team. So, to me, that's no less help than what LeBron had when he was losing in the 04 Olympics, losing in the 06 FIBA. And truly, I mean, when you look at Anthony Edwards, he had pretty good help too. I mean, who would you say on this team? Patrick Ewing, Michael Jordan, Chris Mullin are the only Hall of Famers on that team. But you got to remember, dudes back then was all about defense. Your passes had to be accurate. Your angles had to be accurate. Your skills had to be accurate when somebody is defending you. Dudes is all up on you and ready for you to make a mistake. So it was all about defense first and offense second. They have made this a lazy game today. Today is about offense first and defense whenever. Or you can say is offense first, athleticism second, and defense whenever. And that's why guys in the past, in past eras, if they played these guys today or in the 210s, they would destroy them because they wouldn't know how to field, they wouldn't know how to act, they wouldn't know what to do with that type of defensive pressure. And when the NBA did away with defense in 2005, you're pretty much showing everybody that these guys could never be great two-way players. They don't have the energy. They don't have the stamina. Not only to play on both sides of the court, but to play at a high offensive level once they play defense. Now in this era, you might think, oh man, I see this guy stealing the ball, swatting the ball, all that stuff. Yes, you see flashes of it, but you don't see this all game. A lot of these steals in this era is just guys fumbling the ball. It's pretty much what it is. Or making an errant pass. It's not because of 9 times out of 10, it's not because of defender. And, down here it says, very interesting that Bird, Magic, Isaiah, without stacked teams, couldn't beat a college player, Michael Jordan. Well, I wouldn't say they didn't have stacked teams on here, but they didn't have the stacked teams that they wanted. And when Michael Jordan had premium players, top of the line college players, instead of playing with guys who made the NBA, but to me, I wouldn't think were top of the line college players coming into the NBA, or maybe in the draft. That don't, just because you made it to the NBA, that don't mean that was a good draft. And it just goes to show that this is what they needed to beat Michael Jordan. 4 to 5 Hall of Famers against him with no Hall of Famers. Once he gets 3 Hall of Famers, who was that? Mullen and Patrick Ewing. These NBA players got rocked to sleep. They didn't know what to do. They didn't know what to do. They didn't know what to do. So, yeah, Anthony Edwards, to me, you're going to continue to be a fraud. You're a bench player. You don't know what number you want to wear. You got a 40-year-old man that has no positional skills, hasn't won MVP over a decade, haven't been on a defensive team for a decade, and you're supposed to be the next Michael Jordan. Where's the challenge? I don't understand. Where's the challenge from these guys? Like, bro. So either the NBA is fake, the media is fake, LeBron is paying off everybody to relax and get this media coverage, this fake media coverage, or these guys are sissies, cowards, and they basically have no balls. So which one is it? Which one is it? Which one is it? Dude, Anthony Edwards, this is not how you make your name. This will be etched in stone. Etched in your NBA. I'm not even going to say it. Well, it's going to be part of your past. It's going to be part of your history, bro. You're doing these things. You're acting like, making Kobe gestures, and you're a bench player. You haven't led the league in any statistical category per game since you've been in the league. You just got benched by a 40-year-old. You couldn't even qualify for a medal in the FIBA. LeBron said, yeah, I'll keep you on this team, bro, but you're going to the bench. You're going to the bench because I need to run this point and act like, I'm Magic Johnson in the Olympics. I'm going to slide Curry over to your position, the shooting guard. You can't be... And, he slid Halliburton out there. I don't know who was the point guard in the other last year's FIBA team. I would guess it would be Halliburton, right? I mean, this is a joke. It's a joke. You can't take this NBA serious. You guys are letting this dude, a 4-6 loser, a team hopper, a flopper, destroy your legacy. Destroy your legacy. Where's the competitive nature? You're gonna put me, bro. This is your team. Show me. This is your. Come on, let's get on the court and play. Show me. I bet you can't show me. I bet you can't show me you're going to the bench. I bet you can't show me that you're the best player on this team. I bet he can't show Anthony Edwards this. And a lot of other players on this team. So basically, what's going on? This is being given to LeBron James. Another fake accolade, another fake moment in his career. And like I said, if these players like Curry and these other players on this team at this point are better than LeBron, if Clutch Sports isn't paying you, Anthony Edwards, for doing this stuff, you're a coward. You're a coward. I don't care who it is. But these guys in the past, they're not going to sit down on no bench. I just don't get it, man. This is why I can't respect this Anthony Edwards. You guys can. I'm not going to do it. This is part of his legacy now. He's a he's a bench player. He went from starting to being a bench player. And the fact is, he was the only guy that was really performing good in that FIBA last year. So I do give him credit for that. But as far as being a leader and bringing it home, at least get a medal, bro. But you can see what this guy's really about. He got like a real childish mentality. And he just wants to play basketball based on athleticism. This is just this era, man. Tell me what you think.